A very good morning to all of you. Here in this video we are going to begin a new chapter, that is chapter 14. Okay, so the name of the chapter is Water for Living. You know that water is very important part of our life. Water is essential for life. Okay, so after reading this chapter you can able to explain the process of producing and procuring the daily needs. Okay, like water, what are the sources of home, okay, water from the local source, okay, and its way of purification. Okay, next is establish the relation between cause and effect. Okay, so that means the properties, conditions, phenomena, okay, and verifies using simple tools set up that relation between the cause and effect. Okay, so it may be means it will include evaporation, condensation, dissolution, absorption, okay, and also take care of resources. Okay, so what is our natural resource and we should take care of it. So what are the ways? Okay, everything we are going to discuss in this chapter. So water is essential part of our life. All the living things need water to live and grow, right? And as our planet Earth is also known as the blue planet. Okay, because large part of our Earth is filled with water. So you can see here I have divided into 4 parts, and here 3/4 are the water and 1/4 is the land. Okay, and a large part of our body is also made up of water. Okay, and that's why we need water, okay, for our living. So we will learn about the sources of water. Okay, but why our planet is called blue planet? Because 3/4 of the surface is covered with water. Okay, so that's why our Earth is also called the blue planet. Now let's learn the sources. Okay, so as you can see there are a lot of source of getting water: sea, oceans, river, pond, lake, rain. Okay, water is present on our Earth in the form like salty water and also the fresh water. So sea and ocean, they contain what? Salty water, and these are containing fresh water. Okay, that means without salt. And here you can see I have written that rain is the main source of water. Okay, so in class 3 I already told you about water cycle, so there you come to know about this thing, है ना? So I will explain again the water cycle, but if you see this evaporation, okay, then when it goes here, then it become condensation, and then again precipitation. Okay, precipitation. So what happened, like this is a continuous cycle, and by evaporation it going up, then condensation from there in the form of rain, it is coming to the earth surface, and that's why the water is getting what? Refill. No, whatever the evaporation part is there, so that one is going refill, right? So in this way rain is helping us. So that's why rain is helping to refill the river, pond, lake, right? So that's why rain is considered as the main source of water. A large amount of rainwater falls into the water bodies, okay, into this river, pond, lake, okay, and it not only this but it also seeps into the soil. Okay, seeps means seeps. Okay, when it rains, the rainwater comes into the ground and it seeps through the soil. Okay, so that means to flow slowly and in small quantity through something. So here through the soil, and accumulates below the underground. Okay, so accumulates means what? When more and more water used to collected. Okay, and it goes where? Underground. Okay, underground. So in your home also you are having some sources of water, like hand pump or motor. Okay, that means well, so there you can, from there also you can get water. Okay, so from where that water is coming? When you were pumping the hand pump, okay, so from where water is coming? From the underground. So underground also need to be filled up, right? Because every day we are using the water, right? So that's why that is filled by the rain. So that's why rain is called the main source of water, and that rain seeps into the ground, and it also accumulates below the underground as a underground water. Okay, so rainwater is the purest form of water. Okay, but what happened, like you see here, when rainwater used to come, okay, so when it reaches to our earth, there are a lot of layers, okay, layers in our atmosphere. Okay, so when it passes through the layers, it passes through the impurities, okay, impurities in the air, due to what? Air pollution. Okay, you know about this. Okay, due to air pollution, it gets polluted because that layers everywhere, the air impurities are there, and when the water used to come through that, so it become, from here it is pure water. Okay, but when it enters to the layer and it passes through it, it become impure. Okay, now you can see your book. So these are some sources we are going to discuss: surface water, pond and lakes, river, okay, underground water. So surface water means what? The water runs off the ground from higher area to lower area as surface water. Okay, so runoff water reaches pond, lakes, river and seas. Okay, so that is called surface water. Which one we can find on our surface. Okay, so you can get water from pond, river, lake. Okay, so that is called your surface water, and that is filled through the what? Means the water is to flow from higher to lower area. Now pond and lakes, so rainwater collects on this, means how they're like, you know, filled every time. So rainwater collects on the earth in a small body of water. Okay, that is called your pond, because here you can see in especially in village area there are ponds. Okay, so what happened, that a small area, and that pond, rainwater is to collect on that, and again it gets refill and people can use it, and again it gets refill. Okay, likewise a lake is also the means water body, but it is larger than the pond. Okay, and animals drink water from the ponds, है ना, because in summer a bit of, like, you know, to beat the heat. Okay, that means animals also need water for their survival. So that's why we too can, like, you know, take take our glass, or we can take water and we can drink, but animals cannot do that. So that's why they take water from pond or lake. Okay, and it is also used by the villagers. Okay, they use it for various purpose, for washing dishes, clothes. Okay, and in some area people use it for drinking or irrigation. Okay, you can see here irrigating the field and for bathing. So irrigating means what? Irrigation means using the water in the means agricultural field. Okay, that means for production of the agriculture, that water is used from the lake or pond, so that is called irrigation. So for that also people use in village area, and also for bathing. Okay, so here we come to know about so many uses of water. Okay, now you see rivers. So rivers are also one of the main sources of water. It is large, okay, and it contains fresh water, because oceans, seas, they are larger water bodies than river, but they contain salty water which we cannot use, right? So therefore rivers is considered as one of the main sources of water. Okay, and as I told you that rainwater seeps through the soil and accumulates as a groundwater. Okay, what happens, sometimes it reappears on the earth, okay, in the form of springs. Okay, you can see the picture. Okay, springs means it's the, like, you know, natural discharge of water, and which can form streams. Okay, and after joining the streams they become river. Okay, and not only as the groundwater or the springs can can form the river. Okay, what happened in the cold places, water is present in the frozen form, like snow, glaciers. Okay, so glaciers means what? Glaciers means it is made up of fallen snow that over many years, okay, compresses into large thickened ice masses. Okay, that means for long years, when like in at one place ices are like compressed for long years or long time, so that become a glaciers. Okay, that is also snow. You can see the picture. Okay, so these are the glaciers. Like our in our India, we have some rivers like Ganga, Yamuna. Okay, so from where this like you can see rivers flowing water, no? So how like waters are means flowing? Okay, so that one is coming from what? Himalaya. And in Himalaya it is present in the form of glaciers and snow, and due to the heat of the sun it melts, and the water used to come into the through the river Yamuna and Ganga. Okay, it flow down from the Himalayas. Okay, and Himalayas is what? High northern mountain range of our country. Okay, so there the water is present in the frozen form. Okay, and rainwater that falls also flows into this river. Okay, so not only the glaciers of the snow, but also the rainwater that also falls on the on these water bodies. Okay, and this way the river contain the flowing water. Okay, it is not steady water. You can see rivers are always like river water are always flowing. So at point where a river starts, that is called your source. Okay, so the starting point of a river is called source. That means from there it started. Okay, so you see here some important things are there. The Gangotri glaciers is the source of the river Ganga. Okay, that means the glaciers also means given some names. Okay, so the Gangotri glaciers, from there the river Ganga started. So that's why it is the means Gangotri glaciers is the sources for river Ganga. Okay, most rivers finally flow down the hill into seas and oceans. Okay, so not only river, but it also flows into the seas and oceans. Okay, so from higher area called means. So as you all know that from higher area like mountains, rivers water used to flow. Okay, and when it falls in means into the lower area, that is it flows through what? River. Okay, that means it is coming to the what? From high to lower part and lower land. Okay, and that is called your plains, and finally it falls into the sea. Okay, so from mountain to plain and plain to sea. Okay, so the place where the river joins the sea and empties its water is called its mouth. Okay, so this is very, very important. Okay, the place where the river joins the sea. Okay, so rivers are smaller than the sea. Okay, so when the point where these rivers are meeting the sea, so that point is called your mouth. Okay, when the rivers join the sea and empties its water is called your mouth. A triangular shaped depositional features that is formed at the mouth of a river is called a delta. So one picture is also given here, delta. Okay, so a triangular shaped depositional feature. Depositional feature means their water used to get deposited. Okay, and that is formed at the mouth of the river, and that is why it is called delta. Okay, it's kind of triangular shape. Okay, that means like this way water used to form. Okay, it mostly this triangular shape. Okay, so this form so here this is called your delta. Okay, and delta always form what? At the mouth of the river. Okay, so if it is asked that what is mouth, okay, then you have to say that the point where river joins the sea and empties water, that is called mouth. And what is delta? Delta is a triangular shaped what? Depositional features that form at the mouth is called your delta. Okay, so this 2 point is very, very important. Okay, you just and you can underline this. Okay, Now let's talk about underground water. Okay, so as I told you already, the rainwater seeps and accumulates as a groundwater that goes what below the ground, and that is called underground water. Okay, so here means when the water comes up the surface as natural springs. Okay, I told you, I have shown you the picture also of spring. Okay, then it deposited underground, and that is called underground water. So what is oasis? That means in desert where water is found, so that place is called oasis. Okay, so oasis in desert are formed by the underground water sources. Okay, so that is called your oasis, which is found in the desert. I will attach the picture here, you see. Okay, so underground water is extracted through, as I told you already, it can be extracted by the hand pumps, tube wells, wells. Okay, and underground water, mostly we use underground water. Okay, that is very much fresh because it goes through, it seeps into the soil. Okay, and that goes through so many layers and it automatically gets purified. Okay, directly also we can get at some time, and if it cannot be used, so for that we use filtration process also. Okay, and here you see, students, did you know the longest river in the world is Nile River, right? And what is the longest river in India? Do you know? The longest river in India is River Indus. Okay, River Indus is the longest river in India. And if I ask you the longest river in the world, you have to say Nile River. And now we will talk about oceans and seas. Okay, at the beginning of this video only I told you that 3/4 of the earth is covered with water. Okay, so and from there oceans are very large water bodies that cover large part of our earth. Okay, and seas are also huge water bodies, but are much smaller than oceans. Okay, oceans, that means seas together can make a ocean. Okay, so I think you know some of the name of the oceans, है ना? Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, okay, and seas like Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal. Okay, these are seas. Okay, so water from seas and oceans are very salty. That's why it cannot be used what directly. Okay, so it has many salts dissolved in it, which makes it unfit for drinking, and that's why we cannot use it directly, and we cannot drink it also because it contains a lot of a lot of salt. Okay, dissolved means it is present in that water. Okay, so that is why ocean and sea water are very salty, and that's why it's unfit for drinking. But from there salt can be produced, and after that by evaporation that water used to get evaporated, and that water become fresh. Okay, that means pure, but that cost of means that is costly, so we do not prefer that. Okay, but naturally also that is evaporating, है ना, because every time like due to the sun, the heat, evaporation is going on from ocean, seas, river, pond, lake, everywhere, right? So this was about the sources, and I have discussed all the sources of water starting from the surface water, ponds and lake, river, underground water, and oceans and seas. Okay, and also the rainwater. So I think you understood the sources and how we are using it, and the importance of water. Okay, so in the next video I will tell you about the life in water. Okay, the changes means seasonal changes in water level. Okay, and some more uses, and also the conservation of water. Okay, till then you have read up to this much. If you don't understand anything, you just ask me. Okay, thank you.